Hello, and welcome to Every Day is Funny. It's Friday, but not only is it Friday, it's a big occasion in the Every Day is Funny family. It's our first theme day, and we are going to commemorate the release of the movie Unfrosted by Jerry Seinfeld on Netflix. Because, as I said yesterday, the nexus of breakfast and comedy is something that this show needs to celebrate. And may this be the start of a holiday we celebrate for years to come. Unfrosted Day. I can see it now. In the future, the family gathering around a pile of Pop-Tarts, eating them, lighting them on fire. I don't know, some weird holiday ritual. I wonder if Jerry Seinfeld will be eating a Pop-Tart today in celebration. And I wonder what his favorite flavor is. I, for my part, bought some frosted cherry-flavored Pop-Tarts, which is not my go-to Pop-Tart of choice. It's been several years since I've eaten a Pop-Tart. But as a child, I would always go for the s'mores-flavored Pop-Tart. I'd love to hear from you what Pop-Tart flavor you would have as a child or an adult. No shame in the game. Maybe even close your eyes and think about that taste of a nice Pop-Tart in the morning. So let's take a bite. If you have a Pop-Tart to dig into, that's great. Bite along with me. Or if you have any sort of rectangular food that you can close your eyes and pretend is a Pop-Tart, why don't you take a bite of that now? Now, I chose to have it just right out of the foil. Didn't heat it up or anything, because that's the way I would tend to have it as a youth. And I will say, it comes in some striking, beautiful foil. We should really be paying attention to the foil more. My first bite, I enjoy it. It does feel nostalgic, even if it wasn't my flavor of choice. And oddly, I say this with adoration, not skepticism. It tastes like really good paper. It's like those dot candies that sit on the piece of paper and you rip them off. This is what I imagine that paper tastes like after having those dots on it for so long. Also, the box says that these are a good source of 3B vitamins. So that should erase all guilt you have about going out and eating some Pop-Tarts of your own. Again, happy Unfrosted Day. I also just wanted to announce that Saturdays and Sundays for Every Day is Funny will take on a different little twist. I'm going to cut myself some slack and host afternoon tea, as I will call it, which is basically the exact same show, but around 1 or 2 p.m., and I'll drink tea instead of coffee. I hope you'll still join me, despite that massive switch up. All right, let's get into the comics as I take another bite of Pop-Tart. All right. How about we switch it up and don't go with Rex more? I'm just kidding. You know I gotta see Rex and his daughter pick up the dog from the vet. Rex Morgan, MD, people. I also, before we get to today's Rex Morgan, MD, got a notification that William Thompson, who, if you've been listening, you know. The real ones know. The great William Thompson liked my comment, my joke about the dog eating a marijuana brownie. So me and Willie Tomps are becoming a bit of kindred spirits. All right, Rex Morgan. Come on, Rex, interact with the dog. They are now in the car coming home from the vet. And Rex, who is driving, of course, says to his daughter in the back seat, who's with the dog, "You and Candy okay back there?" And the daughter is with the dog, and the daughter says, "Yeah, I'm just so glad she's okay. I mean, she could have been real sick, or worse, and it would have been all my fault." Okay, my big thing with this strip today, which, great work, Terry. At the very least, I think it's covering ground that's already been covered in regards to this girl's feelings about her own guilt. But I do think at least the panel digs deeper and ends on a moment where she really lets that all out, as opposed to just previous days where Rex says, "I'm going to the vet," and she says, "Can I come?" At least this ends with some emotion, even if it's already treaded ground. My big issue, though, with this strip is why the artist thought it would be okay to not fill in the background of the second panel. In the first, we see the entire interior of the car. And in the second, when it's just a close-up of the girl and the dog, it's just white. They're in a mysterious white room. Now, unless that's supposed to symbolize something like her ascending to heaven because she found out how to raise her dog better, I don't know. But it feels lazy to me. And this has come from a guy who can't draw at all, but when do you get to choose, I don't think I'm going to do the background today. You know how there's only two parts to a picture, the foreground and the background? Yeah, I think I'm just not going to do the background. I don't know. Let's take a look at the comments. William, are you home, buddy? The top comment is by a newcomer for me. I do not know this person. Seismic2. And Seismic2 says, in quotes, "Oh, and Dad, Candy had a little accident on the back seat. Me too." Like, what is with these people's minds? With comments like these, you start to question, why am I trying to get in good with these people? William Thompson commented, "Yes, you're totally at fault here," Rex says. "Glad to duck the parental responsibility bullet with such ease." That's a pretty funny comment. I love just the way he worded that. Glad to duck the parental responsibility bullet with such ease. It's beautiful phrasing, William Thompson. I'm honestly proud to have my comment liked by you. I'm going to give that an upvote. Maybe I'll make a comment referencing the fact that the background's gone. I think these comic enthusiasts would like that if I address the absence in the second panel. So let's see. I commented, in quotes, "Yep, we're fine back here, except for the fact we don't seem to be in the car anymore, and everything is white." I shouldn't laugh at my own thing like that, but I don't think anyone's going to expect, maybe even understand what I'm talking about. But I'm posting it. Oh, I love this. This website is better than any social media I've ever used. For our second comic, I thought we might go to what the top comics on Comics Kingdom are, most popular. Because, I should start reviewing the popular ones. The popular ones will bring the people in. The people want the popular. The people want the popular on the Pop-Tart Show. So number 1 on comicskingdom.com is Zits. Zits is, I believe, a classic in the newspaper comic community. I've read it on many an occasion. I'm a fan. So let's give a gander to Zits for Friday, May 3rd. Okay, a woman is saying, "Imagine that." And that's it for that panel. And now this woman is in a room with, I imagine, her teenage son. And the son says, "I've discovered that there's actually less pressure when I don't put assignments off until the last minute." Okay, I don't know if I understand this. Not because I understand that he's surprised by this fact, this discovery of his, and he's telling it to someone on the phone. But I don't understand why "imagine that" comes first. Why do we see the reaction before the setup? Does anyone have any idea about that? Is "imagine that" like a reoccurring segment? Because you would think that he would say, "I've discovered that there's actually less pressure when I don't put assignments off until the last minute." And then you cut to her stunned face, like, "Imagine that." But seeing "imagine that" first is perplexing to me. Anyway, that was the most popular comic on Comics Kingdom. I didn't mean to be rude the way I said that, but the confusing nature would lead me to believe that this one wouldn't do so well. There is only 3 comments. Rex Morgan MD had far more comments. Let's see what the comments here are. Okay, we have Rebecca Yoke again. And she said, "It looks like Connie's baby boy is growing up." So, why that comment makes it seem like she thinks these people are real. Like, Rebecca seems to be commenting on a lot of Comics Kingdom comics, and I feel like maybe she's a very well-adjusted woman, but I'm starting to get the sense that she's getting too invested in these characters, and she's commenting on how their habits are different, which means she knows these people, these fake people, very, very well at this point. I'll give her an upvote, though. I think it's time to wind down on Friday, May 3rd. Go off into the day. Eat a Pop-Tart. Watch Unfrosted. Thanks for being here, for celebrating Every Day is Funny's first theme day, Unfrosted Friday. And I'll see you tomorrow.